So a crucial matchup in Pool D is just around the corner. Japan taking on Samoa. Now both of these sides having one win so far, and whoever wins this gets themselves that little bit closer to the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals. We will start with the Japanese side, and they are going to be as follows. Number 1, Kita Inagaki. Number 2, they have gone with Shota Hori. And number 3, Jiwon Gu, a man who looked like he may have had some sort of injury in the last game. Luckily is alright, and will be playing here up against the Samoans in the lock-in duo, Jack Cornelison and number 4 and number 5, Amato Fakatava. Now, he was able to get himself 2 tries in the opening fixture of the Rugby World Cup up against Chile. Since then, been a little bit more quiet. Hopefully, he can add to that try-scoring tally in the loose forward trio. That is Michael Leach at number 6, number 7, Peter Lavaskachny, and number 8, it is Kazuki Himeno, who will also be the captain for Japan. In the back line, they have gone with Yutaka Nagare as number 9, number 10, Rakia Matsuda. So a combination that we've seen Japan use throughout the Pacific Nations Cup, as well as a little bit in this Rugby World Cup. So far, out on the left wing, it is Hone Nakabula. In the centres, number 12, Ryoto Nakamura, and number 13, Dylan Riley. Then out on the right wing, Kotoro Matsushima, and number 15, Lamano Lameki. So he's probably the only real change in the starting lineup for Japan that they haven't already used in that position throughout the Rugby World Cup. Now, I will mention that it's due to the injury that we did see last week. Unfortunately, in the early stages of the game, Maseriwa did end up with an injury. Shota Hori is probably the other man in the starting lineup that some maybe thought would have been Sakate, but overall, a strong Japanese side in the starting 15, but now we look through at the reserves. Number 16, Atsushi Sakate. Number 17, it is Craig Miller. And then number 18, Azali Aivalu. Number 19, Warner Durns. And then number 20, Kanji Shimokawa, the last of the forward replacements. Number 21, Naoto Saito. Number 22, they have gone with Seonsun Lee. And number 23, to close out the side for the Japanese, it is Tomoki Asada. So that is their starting lineup and reserves. Now looking through at the challenger Samoa. They did have a defeat last week up against Argentina, but at times throughout that game did look like they had a lot of potential. So in this game, they'll be looking to find that form. In the front row, it is James Lay at number 1, number 2, Seilala Lam, and number 3, Paul Aloamili. So opting to go with the same as what they did go with up against Los Pumas, trying to build consistency throughout the starting lineup as the World Cup does progress onwards. Number 4, it is Chris Vui back to being captain, and also back to that number 4 jersey. And number 5, Theo McFarlane, a man who played 6 last week, now moves back into that lock-in duo in the loose boy trio. It is Talini Su and number 6. Number 7, they have gone with Fritz Lee, and then number 8, it is Jordan Taufua. So no Stephen Luatua in the starting lineup, instead finds himself coming off the bench. In the back line, number 9, Jonathan Tamatine, with number 10 being Christian Leleofano. The combination that Samoa have opted to use in all of their Rugby World Cup games so far, and I don't believe they will be changing that combo unless there are any injuries in the near future. Number 11, it is Ben Lamb, a man who we didn't really see enough of throughout that Argentina game, so hopefully gets his hands on the ball a bit more here. Number 12, it is going to be D'Angelo Leula moving into the starting lineup, and number 13, Tamua Manu, who was playing 12 last week, moves to the outside. That is rather than Olapano Junior Saltini. Number 14, it is Ed Fidel, and then number 15, to close out the side, it will be Duncan Paiua, a man who got a record yellow card in only 30 seconds or so in that last game. He's going to have to make sure the discipline's a lot better here. Also, overall, there were a few players in the Samoan side that didn't quite seem like they found their form. He was one of them, so he'll be looking to have a big matchup here. In the reserves, number 16, Sama Malolo, the man who was able to score up against Los Pumas. Number 17, Jordan Lay. And then number 18, Michael Alalatoa. Number 19, Stephen Luatua. 20, Alamana Matanga. So opting to go with the 5-3 split here, Samoa, rather than a 6-2. Malani Matavao, he will be number 21. Number 22, Naria Famai. And to close out the starting side and reserves for the Samoans, it is Danny Tawala. But this game is going to be an 8 AM kickoff here in New Zealand on Friday morning. We will be covering it on the channel, so if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But let me know what you think of the 2 starting lineups. We'll also have a preview coming out for this match a little bit closer to kickoff, so be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.